They said Gray paved the way, changed the rain, released the pain, least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, dope rap.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the OG Boricua Don Dada, aka Chef. We're trying something completely new, thanks to AB over there, really dropping some shit on us, and we finally got into it. We're in the building. I'm here with none other than my brother, Mr. Muffins Martinez. I'm with AB. This old man seems to be frozen at the moment. But anyways, listen, AB has to start off because he's got all this cool stuff that I'm reading all over the place. Talk to me, brother.
All right, man. We got everything going on. We're gonna talk a lot of mess tonight. I'm gonna come hard. We may be getting some heat. I maybe should covered my face. Maybe put on some sunglasses so nobody really knows who I am. But I'm gonna guess that we're gonna get some heat from a lot of the takes that I got.
You know what?
Oh, well,
hold on. Before you get into trouble, Muffins, I know you want to listen. Let's just jump into this. MLW possibly might be in the biggest stage of going forward into that next chapter with obviously, I think it's called like Sports Illustrated exclusive, or what is it, Range Sports? Or, I don't remember, but
yeah, Range Media Sports, and they opened a new division called Range Sports.
And now I didn't know, you were telling me that the guy, I already forgot his name,
Will Funk,
like Terry.
Yeah,
Funk.
yeah, Terry. I don't think there's any relation, but it is Will Funk. No.
All right. So he actually got AEW their TV deals, or was a part of, branding into it with them. He stepped back, fell back for whatever reason, who knows? But now he's excited because he's
the reason. Yeah. Well, I was going to say the reason he left is because that was the merger had just started with Warner Brothers and Discovery, so he knew that once that merger went through, it's going to be a brand new EFP. So he said, "Yeah, I'm out of here."
Okay.
So he said, "Hey, it's time to go."
He's excited.
Yeah, we know about them EVPs messing things up.
Yeah.
He's
excited.
He's excited to be working with Court Bauer. And now the one thing I took from it, I'm a big hip hop head, and if you read the article to what MLW had put out, he even said something to the response of he would like to get music people involved and be ambassadors to MLW. And I was like, whoa, now that could be huge for a few reasons, especially for a guy like Myron Reed, who actually has a rap career, has an album out there, and you never know how that can help him out. But I don't know who obviously they're connected with, but if you had any big name, doesn't matter if it's country, hip hop, rock, reggaeton, whatever. No, you got it. Salute to you. I didn't even know you had that. But that's fire. I hear you. And you're muted though, Ace. You're muted there, Superstar Monar. I don't know if you understand that, but let me keep talking until an old man figures out how to unmute himself. But talk to me a little more, gentlemen, because you guys dug deep into this, and I was kind of just picking certain spots to read.
Yeah, I went through a lot of things that were on the internet last night. It broke. I think I was on my way home. All of a sudden, I get ding, ding right after another, and it's both of you throwing out the links. And I read it really quickly at the stoplight, and I started thinking to myself, I'm like, well, this is cool, right? This is something that is interesting. But when I started digging in a little bit deeper, it's talking about Mr. Will Funk over there and who he is and what he's brought to the companies that he was with before, right? I mean, the guy was with Warner Media. That's a huge media company. It's not just mom and pop. He's got some good credentials. We talked about it. He did the deal to bring AEW to TNT. He also did the deal to bring NBA to TNT. and probably one of the biggest sports event of the year, March Madness for CBS Sports. Yeah. So this isn't just a hey, we're going to throw you some nickels and dimes and see where this goes. I mean, they got SI got quotes from Will talking about the appeal that MLW brings to the Hispanic marketplace. The huge opportunity that MLW presents to bringing his new company to light, along with bringing along MLW. He thinks that there's a big upside, that no other companies are doing the Hispanic / diversity marketplace. I really think it's going to be great for MLW. Let's see where it goes. I mean, there's some things in there that really scare me, but there's the optimist in me says this is going to be great. The pessimist in me and the businessman in me says, but wait, there's more, and it's not good, or it could end up not being good if it's not played right. So how about you, Muffs?
Hold on, wait. Before he goes in, do you want to give us some time before I ask you? Like, should we just let this sit for a few days? And then the next time we revisit this, I can ask you, what are the things you do that you're not afraid of, but you might see on a what's intimidating or what's not what could be a problem?
Yep. All right. So I'm getting it passed back. I'll take it. All right. So some of the things that scare me is, such a knowledgeable person isn't going to just get a small wrestling company and say, oh, I'm going to give them AEW money. They're not going to go in and give them a lot of money unless they see some collateral there for them, right? If something happens, what do they get out of this deal? Because they can't just throw money at it and not get anything back if it fails. So it's one of the things that they mention in a lot of these copied and pasted articles is it's a great opportunity for a distribution partner that wants to build a property, potentially even have an equity partner. Okay, investors, but you're beholden to the investors. Very quickly, you're beholden to what they want. And WWE, yeah, that's Big Daddy over there. They're beholden to the investors, which is what happened to get, Daddy McMahon out the door. He was doing things that maybe he shouldn't have with the investor. It's really the investors' money. That's one thing. I don't think Court has anything to hide. But we've heard some things about people around that atmosphere that, they could bring the deal down. They could, tarnish the reputation, and things could just go bad. And all of a sudden, the only thing that Range Sports or whoever it is owns out of it is the library. And that's something that I've just been pinging hard on Court about and asking him, hey man, what are we going to do? When are you going to release the library? When are you going to release the first 100 episodes? Right now during the break would have been great to do it, but yep. I'm guessing he's working on other deals. Excuse me. And because he's working on those other deals, he can't just release it. It's his leverage for the collateral for the business partnership to come into play, right? The other thing I think is, or I'm worried about, BN Sports. How do they come into play when this company says, hey, we want to put you on channel whatever, this network, and we want the streaming deal to be with that network also, and we're going to stream all your stuff, and we're going to have your library, and we're going to have your content. And real quick, BN's like, hey there, remember our contracts? Remember our years of deals that we've had and how loyal we've been to you to have you on network TV? What are you going to do? you know, what breaks down in there in communications? Do they hopefully get bought out? And is the company that or the partners that come in, are they willing to buy BN out of that deal? You know, and then the last thing is, of course, as I sort of alluded to it, is just losing that intellectual property, losing those libraries, losing the guys that have been loyal to you. You know, and I'm talking about behind the scenes guys, and I'm also talking about wrestlers that have been loyal because you know, investors don't like a certain wrestler, they don't like a look on a certain wrestler, they start getting into creative all of a sudden. I mean, it happened with what, TNT, TBS, Turner, whatever it was called in the old days, and that was what started taking you know, the old WCW down before you know, Bischoff and all those other guys came in and made it worse.
Now, the only thing I can say with that is that when we interviewed Josef Samael, when he was talking about Court doesn't take days off and he busts his ass, he says Court's not like, that's a boss. Like he understands his value, he understands his brand, and he doesn't take shit for granted. And he's a workhorse. Like you remember that when he was saying that. And I think that if with Court right now understanding, you know, we did hear about WWE supposedly messing up the deal before that. Now I have a big time deal, you know, has nothing to do with WWE, but I think with someone like Court understands I built something different. And like you said, in that where they when they specifically said the Hispanic market or, you know, like just say blacks and Latinos, because you don't see many black champions in any other company like you do in MLW. You don't see the Latinos, the Hispanics, you know, whatever you want to use the reference to the culture being highlighted in that kind of respect as we see it with MLW. So there is a super niche that Court has. If you don't like something, honestly, as a business person, here's where the biggest mistake is. And don't get me wrong, because I'm going to bring up Contra Unit. Contra Unit was the biggest sales through their merchandising and media marketing. So if you sit there and say, well, I don't like Jacob Fatu, he's too street. Well, every fan likes Jacob Fatu. You know, if you're talking business, this is one of our biggest assets. Hammerstone, if you don't like, say you go, oh, this guy's a Hulk Hogan 2.0. Well, you know what? He's one of our hottest guys, and his merch sells this way. So even if you want to come in and you say, well, I don't really like this wrestler, and I throw you a demographic of what kind of income they bring back to the company, I'm pretty sure you're not going to go, well, let's get rid of this guy, even though he's top 5 of revenue, even though the fans really get behind him. This is the one thing I think that Court has the leverage on with certain guys. Now, other guys, if you're not marquee top of the end, yeah, I could see them going, oh, look, I'm not really feeling that guy, and you barely use him. He got to go. You know, that I could see. But at the end of the day, I think MLW does a pretty good job of making most of the talents go over well. I think everyone has, like, you think you could name 13 guys that you prominently see and do well. You know, you do have guys like, and I've always liked Gino Medina. You don't really see him. You know, I'm a big Ikuro Kwon guy. You didn't see him a lot. So there's a lot of guys that you did not see, and you're like, all right, those might be the guys that get targeted, but our top end talents, they're safe, and those are the ones you have to protect anyway. Muffins, my fault, man. I'm talking too much.
No, that's great.
You're still muted. You're still muted, my good man. Look at this guy. Can't get nothing right. I'm trying to give him a platform to talk. We're using his brand new stuff. We got all these cool things down here that hate me. I can't with that last one. My brother, you're going to have to unplug it because people are going to be like, wow, look at this. They're still talking. Unfortunately, until he figures it out.
Now?
There you go.
We
now
hear you.
Yeah,
Yes.
hey, praise the Lord.
Like before I was so rudely interrupted by you guys, almost 15 minutes of you guys talking. Jesus, let them.
If you couldn't talk, they couldn't.
I can put him on mute. Do we want to remute him?
Yeah, word, right? Just mute him back.
almost 50 minutes, and the Muffin Man hasn't said one word yet. That's incredible, man. Incredible. Anyways, I wanted to mention what Beans have mentioned earlier about the partnership. And if we remember before, TNA, Dixie Carter had a beautiful thing until she messed up the partnership. And then we all saw what happened. She went shopping from channel to channel to channel. And
why you gotta throw my lady under the bus, man?
Well, no, because I'm trying to make a point what Beans said about the partnership and how much input they're willing to put in.
I love
it. Happened before. Yeah, it happens with all the companies, and we all see it happen all the time. But right now, what I'm worried about more than anything else is ranked sports. It's brand new. There's nothing there yet. So this is a brand new venture going forward. We have to see what else is going to get put into ranked sports that's going to make it appealing or is not going to make it appealing for MLW. It's not just what MLW brings to them, but what they also could bring to MLW. What A-Beans have mentioned about Mr. Funk, he has a complete resume of what he's done. What I like about this is that also AEW, A&E is part of Range Media Sports. They bought $50 million of equity from the company. The company is worth $30 million. So they bought $50 million. So my math is bad. What, 10% they own? Maybe, I don't know, something like that.
4.4, 4.5. But
okay, so all right. But going forward, A&E owns Lifetime, History Channel, Vice TV. They could use any of those channels, especially Vice TV, where we always see Dark Side of the Ring, to put in an MLW show there. They also have a big app on your phone, A&E app, where you can actually see their shows, The Walking Dead, Better Call Saul. So they do have a lot of good shows. Yeah, whatever.
Better call him.
What's it called? Better Call Saul, whatever. I can never pronounce the name. I would say Better Call Saul.
El Tío Saul.
Go call Sal from the block. Go call Sal.
I always say Better Call Saul because I can never pronounce that damn name. But they have his shows on A&E that could bring more eyes into the channel. So I understand what A-Beans is worried about. I'm just worried about more of there's nothing in Range Sports because this is their first deal, is the MLW deal. So I want to see what else comes up later in the future, what else they get added to the Range Sports to make it look that nice.
But you're all in on Mr. Funk, right?
Oh, dude. NCAA, NBA on TNT. He brought AEW to TNT. I mean, he was the one they could say their wrestling friendly guy on their side when they brought in TNT, AEW, and they actually got scared when he left, which he just left, and now going through the whole Warner Brother Discovery merger, everybody saying, oh, they're gonna go to 1 hour, oh, they're gonna get moved here. So, everybody started getting scared backstage in AEW when their biggest guy who likes them, who's fighting for them, who's batting for them, when anything happens, just got up and left and said, yo, I'm out of here. So that's a win for MLW because, yes, MLW is a small company. He has big visions, so you never know how far he could bring the company up, saying, I have more freedom here because it's a smaller company, so I could do this and this and this and this and this, and no one's going to pay no mind to me because I was so successful doing stuff everywhere else for the last 20, 30 years or whatever that he's been doing with this with. So the future-wise, I like his vision. I'm just scared of what else they're going to bring into Range Sports and go from there if it's going to benefit MLW or it's not going to benefit them in the future. So
I think AB kind of got me a little worried. I listened to his whole thing and I was like, oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. The only thing that kind of got me was, is there anyone around court that shouldn't be? Is there anyone around court that did something that they should not have done? Listen, wrestling industry is a crazy industry. Every time you turn around, somebody is doing something stupid. And the last thing you need is for one dummy to mess up something like the Funk guy. Listen, if Funk has been around,
wasn't that one guy Saint Laurent or whatever his name is?
Well, he supposedly had baggage. He supposedly had baggage, but I mean, there's a lot of hearsay and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's more like, but it's wrestling. Everybody's done something. Everyone is accused of something, but that's the only thing that got me kind of like, damn, you know. And listen, I'm glad we couldn't have this conversation. We could. It'd just sound like real crazy. But AB speaks, and I'm not trying to just make him sound like he's the dopest shit ever. But if you listen to the educated, wow, throw a thumbs down on the guy. Jesus. But if you listen to the educational palette of how he explained the entire business end of it, it made perfect sense to how we can talk and hit different ways of talking, because we wouldn't have talked like that. So, you know, everyone listening, if you're an MLW fan, you better jump on this shit quick, because these two guys are killing it. I'm kind of just here to be the voice and talk with the homies. You know what I mean?
But you said what you said was true about there's always something, rumors going on in wrestling, and we know you're a hater. So that's there. So
you're on fire today. This guy's a bum. I'm a hater. Like
you had me muted for 15 minutes.
Makes my daughter wait for her bedtime so that you can go watch Tony Yayo give his presentation.
Yeah, you were excited throwing the little video package into the chat where we're like, dude, we could care less. All that was missing was him going like this.
Oh, whatever.
You know? I'm gonna show you we're not afraid. And you know, and I make more money than profit. And come on, man, calm down. At least listen, don't do coke before you go on TV. You know what I mean? Like shit.
So this is you can't see me. What's this? I can't hear you. Like I couldn't hear you, man. We should have left me on mute.
This time Tony Yayo wasn't coked up when he made his decision this time. So
hold on. So we talked everything MLW we wanted to talk, right? We got that out the way.
Yes,
sir. Listen, if you're not a wrestling fan, right? From what my understanding of what AB wants to do is a not miss. So if you don't like AEW, if you've never watched it, you live under a rock, you're going to want to watch the next show, because AB really wants to throw a beating on AEW and what's been going on. So you got to watch it. For myself, these two guys, we're out of here, deuces. And I know you can edit it the way we got to edit it.